time to fish!
Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldis and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
There you are, you handsome devil.
What up, guys? It's Friday Night Flies. I'm back into the vise, running, rolling. I'm tying. I'm super stoked about this pattern because if you guys noticed in Friday Night Flies, Pemberton Fish Finder, and Scott LeBoldis' last Instagram post, they noticed a golden stone on one of these hats. So
Actually, it was placed on that hat.
it was placed on that hat, but you guys get the idea.
Yeah. There's a reason we're wearing that hat today.
They even like mustad hooks because they're so good. So I decided to come up with my own smaller variation of rock crawler. It's just basically a smaller golden stone that you see throughout the year, or stonefly species. You see them throughout the year, typically in spring and higher elevations like here in Pemberton. This fly just works all the time. It's small. You see them everywhere. You flip over a rock, you see them. So I saw the golden stone.
Give it a roll. Let's just see.
Sorry about this head. It's been fished a little bit. It was the only one I've had because it works so well.
He's been fishing it, is what he's saying.
Fishing it. And when you just get home from a math test and don't have any time, tie up an example. There you go. You get the fished ones.
You get the fished ones.
So I've got, this is a really simple, easy pattern that, quite honestly, I think works. It's almost like a Prince nymph. It's pretty similar to a Prince nymph.
It's covering a lot of different things right there.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, let's get
started.
Let's get it started.
Okay. So I'm using a size 12 mustad hook with a 1/8 copper bead. You can use silver. To me, it's not a huge deal. So I'm just going to start my thread. I got 6/0 black thread. I'm just going to start that and go all the way to the back. This is a size 12 wet nymph, if you guys didn't know. And these hooks are sharp, so be careful. So now I'm going to take some black goose biots. And if you look at these flies in the water, they're really small. So I'd tie this fly all the way up to a size 18, depending on the size of the bugs in your water. So I'm just going to take this, and I want them really short, like probably 2/3 of the length of the shank. And I'm just going to tie mine on this side. And then we'll tie yours in. So this fly, it just straight up works. And I'm excited to fish it because it works really well in early spring when your bigger adult golden stones are coming out as well. I'd fish this in a faster run with lots of shelter, just because when a fish sees an easy meal floating by, because these things don't really swim, more float, they're going to take it no matter what. So if you can get that recipe down, then you're pretty much guaranteed fish unless you can't nymph. So I'm going to now try and even my thread out from that. And if I push my bead back, I want enough room for the legs and the wing casing. So now I'm just going to take some of my UTC red wire from Chinook Wind Outfitters. Stuff is really durable, especially once you put the Solarez ultra thin on it, or bone dry. Really works well. I'm just going to even my body out. Work it back up to the head. Put a quick whip finish into it. Then we can use the rotary power of this awesome Montana Mongoose vise. Look at me go. I'm listing off all our sponsorships here.
Strong, solid, brother.
And I'm just going to build my body up with the thread, or with the wire. And this is very similar to your Prince Nymph. Pretty easy fly in my opinion. Intermediate maybe, max. And I'm not too worried about my wire covering my whole body, because if there's a little bit of black showing, it's not a big deal. But when there's a lot showing, it kind of makes a difference. There we go. So now it's just trying to get past that hook point. Wrap my wire up the shank. And I like to wrap it all the way down into the bead. Helps hold the bead in place as well. Take my thread. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this since we're on camera. There we go. And I'm just going to lock her down. And there's another reason why I like to take my thread all the way to the front, is because then I can work it back with my thread and really lock it down. Oops. Cut that off. There we go. And now I'm just going to take some of my ultra thin UV cure from Solarez. I'm going to sprinkle it onto the body. Sprinkle it. And this really just helps hold your wire in place, as well as when you get that huge fish onto your hook. It's going to help that mustad hook, even though it doesn't need any help, as well as your wire. Hit that with the UV light. And now, see what we got going on here. And now I'm going to take some of my thin skin. This stuff is really cool for your golden stone backing. I believe this is molted. I kind of threw away the packaging, so I'm not 100% sure. But I'm just going to take that. And this stuff is really neat material because it makes it easy to make your stonefly wings versus from a feather that takes quite a bit longer. And I'm just going to cut about, I'd say a 1/4 of an inch strip. Just basically the length of your body. That gives you enough stuff to play around with, not mess up on. This stuff is fairly cheap, in my opinion. I'm just going to peel that off. It's on. So now I like to put a little bit of arrowhead into this. Makes it easier to tie it in. You'll also see, if you guys follow Sontango on Facebook and Instagram, he uses this stuff quite a bit as well. In fact, he kind of gave me the idea to use this stuff. So there we go. Now I'm going to take some of my bronze diamond dub. I'm just going to fill the body in a little bit. Now take my soft hackle partridge feather, grab the tips. I'm just going to tie that guy in, lock her down nicely, and this is almost like the mallard flank that Brad was using. You don't want it to be too sticky. I'm going to grab that with my hackle pliers. This stuff is pretty delicate. Just wrap that up. Trim off the excess. Now, as you can see here, I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to try and fold everything down. Lock her down. And when I pull this thin skin over, it's going to force everything to go down. Put one loose wrap in, and then you can grab the front and pull her tight. Pinch it there. There we go. Now we can trim her up, make her look all pretty. Trim that one leg out of the way. Whip finisher off. Again, this is a pretty simple tie. I wouldn't say it's that hard for anyone to use or do. Now what finishes this fly off, in my opinion, say it's that, is just put a dab of, how do I take this cap off? There we go.
There you go. It's all fresh, man.
It's all fresh. And just put a dab of the Solarez Think Here on top.
It takes a while for it to come up the needle, but when it comes out, it comes out. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Looking sexy. There we go. Now hit it with a quick flash of your UV light. And wham. Bam.
Thank you, man.
Jingle, jang. I don't know what I'm saying now. There you go. There's the Cox's rock crawler.
Slow roll, man. Let's have a look at that.
Okay, let's roll.
Are you gonna be able to show your parents this pattern?
Yes, I will.
Cox, that's his last name.
Yeah,
so
that's my last name, so that's the only reason I get to have fun with it. Okay, so there's my fly for the week. It's a pretty simple tie, but really effective on the water, especially if you're one of those Euro nymphers, or you like to fish with the strike indicator.
Stick it, baby.
High stick it. It's very easy.
Okay, well,
there we go. We'll go back up.
We're gonna go back up.
Okay, guys, so that was my fly for the week. I hope you guys liked it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very simple tie. Give her a try. If you can tie a Prince Nymph, I can guarantee you can tie this. Materials are pretty cheap, not super expensive. And make sure you get yourself some mustad hooks, because quite honestly, I love these hooks. I don't buy anything else, so they're really effective, easy to get. So
everybody sells them.
Everybody sells them, exactly. There's a reason why. It's because they're great.
That's right.
So,
oh yeah, word from our sponsors.
Friday Night Flies would like to thank the following sponsors: Superfly, Solarez, Chinook Wind Outfitters, Dr. Slick, Griffin, Stonefoe.